More and more White House officials, both current and former, are revealing what Donald Trump actually is. Lots of them are doing it anonymously, very brave, but at least we're getting the information. So take a look at what Trump has said about different groups of Americans behind closed doors. After phone calls with Jewish lawmakers, Trump has muttered that Jews, quote, are only in it for themselves and, quote, stick together in an ethnic allegiance that exceeds other loyalties, officials said. I mean, can you imagine if a Democrat, if there were on the record sources to the Washington Post saying that Biden had said that? Every head. For Trump, no, it's fine. No, couldn't possibly be anti-Semitic. This, sort of vaguely neo-Nazi movement couldn't possibly also be anti-Semitic, couldn't possibly. And so this news, we're saying it, and then it'll be gone in a day, and no one will care.
The other thing is that people, and I know that I'm probably gonna get it for this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. There's always this attack on Jewish people for sticking together after they had to survive and endure a Holocaust, right? I wish Black people had that in America, had an allegiance to each other. The divide and conquer that has been sprinkled upon us from white supremacy has disabled us from having a sense of unity. Latinos, Latinx as well, indigenous people. So and not to say that what he's saying is correct and okay, but to demonize a group of people whose children and people and grandparents have been put into ovens and murdered, and saying now we gotta have each other's back because history shows us that when we trusted others, this is what they did to us. And to say that as if it's a bad thing, I think is anti-Semitic, because they are sticking together because they have to. They have trauma bonded. And
exactly.
It's so funny to me to hear people say, you hear about the Jews, they sticking together. Like, I wish we had that. I wish to God, the universe, or whatever you believe in, the trees, that people of color, Black people had that sense of unity, because we wouldn't be under America's foot for so long.
100%, 100%. Yeah, and again, like, oh, Barry Weiss is gonna write such an op-ed about this. But no, and she could interview, she could track down those sources and talk to them about it. Is she gonna? No, of course not, because anti-Semitism is only a thing if you can twist an Ilhan Omar tweet into something. That's it. If Trump is like openly talking about this, that's nothing. Anyway, it wasn't just the Jewish Americans though. In unguarded moments with senior aides, again, senior aides, President Trump has maintained that Black Americans have mainly themselves to blame in their struggle for equality, hindered more by lack of initiative than societal impediments, according to current and former US officials. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of got a point. They really should have more initiative. Why didn't they get hundreds of millions of dollars given to them by Papa? Why didn't they do that? That's what initiative is about. Have a business and a fortune given to you and squander it for literally decades, doing no better than you would have done if you just put it in a savings account over that time. Why don't they have that kind of initiative? And again, him saying these sorts of things, like, first of all, go on the record. But anyway, it's just gonna be ignored. What's the difference? What's the difference?
Yeah. Well, you know what? And I will say this, because even not just Donald Trump says this, but a lot of people who are in positions of privilege and power dare to say that to people of color, Black people. And I will go on record to say that I'm not qualified to speak on behalf of all people, Black and people of color alike. But I will say that a lot of these mother crackers that have all this money and have all this wealth have built it on the backs of our ancestors. And now they taunt us and they flaunt it in our faces. Run Black people in America back their reparations. Run all of the descendants of the slaves back their reparations from France to the Dutch, and then we'll see who's wealthy in this country, built on actual work. We idolize this wealth so much in this country, but we don't ever go back and follow the money and follow the work and see where it came from. It's very easy for somebody like Donald Trump, who is mediocre at best, right? Mediocre is being kind, has failed at almost everything that he's done except being rich, white, and wealthy in this country. That's the only thing that he's done well, because everything that he touches is trash, including America.
100%, 100%. I wish that was it though. There's more from this Washington Post report. Trump's private musings. I love to call his sort of decayed brain racist rants musings. Anyway, Trump's private musings about Hispanics match the vitriol he has displayed in public. And his antipathy to Africa is so ingrained that when First Lady Melania Trump planned a 2018 trip to that continent, he railed that he, quote, could never understand why she would want to go there. To an entire continent of countless different societies and civilizations, ways of life, language groups, culinary histories, all of that, all of it. A big X. It's like from Always Sunny in Philadelphia when Mac was planning a trip around the world and he just started Xing off continents because of racial groups there. That's what he actually thought. Melania apparently was interested in going there and having her little weird safari. She literally dressed as if she was going on a safari. It was very bizarre. And this is what he says about it. But when challenged on these views by subordinates, and I'm sure they're challenging very hard, Trump has invariably responded with indignation. Quote, he would say, no one loves black people more than me. And the 2020 version of that is no one has done more for black America than me. Well, maybe Lincoln, but probably me. That's his response to literally everything. He can say whatever racist thing he wants. He just says that he loves them anyway. I'm appeased. I don't know about you.
Yeah. I'm so tired of hearing all of these politicians saying all of the things that they've done for black people, people of color in this country. They've just been tokenizing us in every aspect of this game. And to hear him, someone is arguing with me right now on social media about this. He is, when they talk about black people as if they can speak on behalf of all black people, right? All of them, every single one of them, right? No one's done more for all black people. But then you look at what's going on in the country with the people dying from COVID, the loss of jobs. When he was signaling to white people in the suburbs that he was going to dismantle those initiatives that would allow poor people to move into their neighborhoods. What exactly, when all of these people who keep arguing with me about, oh, you're writing for Biden, which I think hasn't been good for black people either. So, which administration has improved the conditions of any of the people who are marginalized in this country? We can't point to one, right? But what I'm saying is when you say, tell me how in the last 4 years, it really has gotten better for the people in my community of Liberty City in Miami that is predominantly black that my mother lives in. Please show me, send me, tweet me, DM me on Instagram. I will read them all out loud. Show me how it has gotten better when we watched George Floyd. This is trash, man. Really, are we having this conversation? They are all garbage. They've all been.
They are.
They've all been horrible to us.
You're 100% right. I'm gonna have a demonstration right now of some of the garbage, and this is where it gets. It's horrible, but darkly funny, I guess. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.